The following is a presentation of the Magnitude Sports Network.
Satter wants the ball. It's maybe teed up for 11-3. He got it! 11 3-pointers for Ty Satter. It's unbelievable. The Fusion the other way. Nice ball in towards Kamai. Kamai able to set up down. Kamai beating the keeper. Shot on the way, and Kamai scores. 1-0 for the Fusion in this
1-2 pitch. Line shot up the middle. One run will score. Deer rounding third. He's coming to the plate.
Verwest, they center in front. Scarborough down low, loose in front, in for a goal. South Shaley. It's the first goal of this East Region title.
Let's turn things over to the broadcast booth. The pregame show starts now.
And good, I guess it's morning. Good morning.
Still morning. Good morning. Still got my coffee.
Getting ready for American Legion baseball here from Kindred, North Dakota, from Varsity Field in Kindred. The Kindred Vikings will be hosting the Renner Post 307 ball club. Legion A tournament in the Shields Invitational Legion A baseball tournament. I'm Mike Bernier along with Wendy Bernier.
Good morning still. Is the Renner Royals.
Renner Royals, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. We had asked down there and they weren't really sure, so I don't know if the Renner Royals is what the school name is or something like that, but we'll go with the Royals. I kind of like that.
A lot of blue. They're in blue today. We are in blue today. They're in blue today.
And broadcasting our game on Magnitude Sports and streaming this game once again. Kindred Vikings won a couple of games yesterday, beating Mandan and also Post 400 and getting to this point now. So they'll take on Renner. There's a game after this as well that will also be broadcast on Magnitude Sports. Barnesville is one of those teams, and Mike Mason will be in here to do one of those games. So we're getting ready to play some baseball here. The Post 307 out of Renner, South Dakota, is out taking their infield right as we speak, and you can kind of see that on the camera here. So we'll be back with the starting lineups. We'll take a break right now, and we'll come back with the running starting lineups, and we'll go through that.
MLGC's story began in 1906 in the rural communities of Enderlin and Cooperstown. Today, MLGC is a fourth-generation family-owned company that can deliver ultra-high-speed broadband, TV, telephone, and advanced business services to customers on a 100% fiber optic network. Now available in several rural communities, including Kindred. In an era of exploding technology, MLGC's goal is to deliver future technologies that make rural North Dakota a vibrant place to live and do business. Visit them today, MLGC.com. MLGC, moving you at the speed of light.
We know it's a difficult conversation, but you can give your family peace of mind by sharing your final wishes. Pre-planning your funeral with the caring and experienced team at Bolger Funeral Home means your needs and requests will be honored. Take away the stress and burden of expense during their time of grief with the team your neighbors and community have trusted for generations. Schedule a meeting with Bolger Funeral Home and Cremation Services today.
For your remodeling and service needs on residential or commercial water heaters, sewers, drain cleaning, floor heating, and more, contact DJ's Plumbing and Heating in Castleton. The team at DJ's Plumbing and Heating has over 43 years of experience and is an officially licensed master plumber. DJ's Plumbing and Heating. Give them a call today at 701-347-5253 or visit them in person at 1002 Front Street in Castleton.
Cheyenne Septic Service is your go-to for residential and commercial pumping of your septic and holding tanks. Plus, they provide pre-sale real estate pumping and inspections. Don't buy a new home or sell your current home without it. Cheyenne Septic Service is always on call 24/7 for any emergency services that may be required at your home or business. Call 701-317-2756. Cheyenne Septic Service, a local business in Leonard, North Dakota.
Game time is now only minutes away. Let's take a look at your starting lineups for this matchup.
And we're back with our starting lineups presented by Runnings. For Renner, the post 307, we'll call them the Royals today, coached by Sam Stukel and assisted by Tristan Van Westhoven. Batting first for post 307 will be the second baseman, Zach Sprinkle. Brady Jacobson bats second. He plays at shortstop. The third baseman, Joe Neufeld, bats third. And batting in the cleanup position will be Andrew Bloom, the designated hitter. John Lent bats fifth. He's the first baseman. Joey Goodshall is the catcher. He bats sixth. Alex Jaspers plays out in right field and bats seventh. Zach Barr, the center fielder, bats eighth. Patrick Barnett plays in left field and bats ninth. And on the mound, and he's got a designated hitter for him, will be Jack Stukel. He'll be on the hill for the for post 307. So it's Sprinkle, Jacobson, Neufeld, Bloom, Lent, Goodshall, Jaspers, Barr, Barnett for the lineup for the visiting Renner post 307. For the Kindred Vikings, coached by Josh Almaris, assisted by Nick Eggman and Dean Wixo. Batting first and playing in center field will be Mason Almaris. Jack Wold bats second and plays at third base. Nick Thompson is a designated hitter, and he'll bat third. Jack Packer plays at first base, bats in the cleanup hole. Jeremiah Doctor's the fifth batter in the lineup. He's the catcher. Graham Glasso plays at second base, batting sixth. Batting seventh for the Vikings, Jorgen Swenson playing at shortstop. Stanley Belaski plays out in right field, batting eighth. And Xander Rath plays out in left field. He's batting ninth. Carson Andel will be on the hill for the Kindred Vikings. And again, he's got a designated hitter for him and Nick Thompson. So it's Almaris, Wold, Thompson, Packer, Dr. Glasso, Swenson, Belaski, Rath. So that's your running starting lineups. And some unfortunate news for the Kindred Vikings in a play in yesterday's ball game against post 400 the Comets. There was a pop-up into shallow left field, and Kylan Swenson, the left fielder, was coming on hard. Jorgen Swenson, the shortstop, and yes, they are brothers.
He's brother, yep.
Jorgen went out, Kylan came in, and Jorgen made the catch, and then they collided a little bit. It wasn't a violent collision, but unfortunately for Kylan Swenson, he bent his hand back and broke a bone in his wrist.
Oh, that's too bad.
So he'll be out for 4 to 6 weeks, certainly not playing in this game, but he's down in the dugout, and he was acting as a catcher, during the infield warm-ups, and you can't get Kylan off the field, so he was doing whatever he could to participate in the game. So
Suppose Jorgen's got a few of his chores for the next 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Beautiful day for a ball game. The wind is blowing in from right field, so the ball will carry out to left field. The field looks beautiful.
It does. And we were walking in. The ticket takers are out here, so if you want to come out and watch a day of baseball, it's a great place to come watch. And all the decor is up. They got the flags are waving, and the concession stand, they were getting the grill started for some cheeseburgers and hot dogs. All the ice cream. We're going to get known for our ice cream treats. We've got Cold Stone Creamery ice cream, and then some new little, not dilly bars, but they look like dilly bars, and the kids were enjoying those last night. So there's a lot to do when you come out here to Kindred for a baseball game today.
And I can't believe it so far. This is our fourth game that we've broadcast, and I've yet to go get some Cold Stone.
I know. I keep teasing you about it, but and so showing you pictures, but we haven't had it. So maybe today we'll get to the ice cream.
Yes, after this game. So the lineups are being presented. The PA being done by Paul Quislin, the baseball director here for Kindred Youth Baseball. Dan Nathan running the scoreboard.
And our whole broadcast today is powered by MLGC with fast fiber optic internet service.
Yeah. And we'll take a break.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? from office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success. Jamie R. Swenson of Park Company Realtors has been your local Kindred area realtor for over 10 years. She'll help you find the home you're really looking for. Growing up in Gary, Minnesota, and graduating from NDSU, Jamie has made her home in Kindred, proudly cheering on the home team in blue. Buying or selling? Make that call to Jamie R. Swenson at 701-799-1779 or visit connectwithjamie.com to browse new listings and listen to the Realtor Moms podcast. Jamie R. Swenson of Park Company Realtors supports the Kindred players of today and hometown rookies of tomorrow.
If you're looking for a bank or insurance agency that offers big bank products and small town service, then Kindred State Bank and Insurance Agency is the way to go. Live in or near the Kindred area? Stop in and chat with a friendly banker or insurance agent about all of the convenient services and features they offer. Kindred State Bank and Insurance Agency are your neighbors who are here to help you grow and develop. Kindred State Bank and Insurance Agency. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Online at kindredstatebank.com.
And welcome back to Kindred. We're just getting going, folks. We got ourselves a ball game tonight. American Legion Baseball Shields Invitational Legion A Tournament. I'm Mike Bernier along with Wendy Bernier.
Good afternoon.
Wendy Bernier will be running the computer and the controls and helping out with the camera. I try to fumble my way through the camera. So again, for those that haven't seen this broadcast before, we're down the first baseline and that's where our camera is. And so we have the same view as what you're seeing on the camera. I'm standing directly behind this camera here.
Yeah, it's a fun park. And behind the trees that you see straight out, there is a park with the Gaga pit and the swings for the kids to go over there and play. And then behind us too, down first baseline, the batting cages, the football field. Really fun layout for the kids to come out, and then an ice cream treat in the middle.
Yeah, absolutely. The kids, play a lot of baseball with tennis balls out on the football field and play whatever games they can and run around the track and, like you said, go play in the park and have some fun and
get unplugged for the day.
Yep. And golf cart row down the first base line. There's 3 golf carts down there today in foul territory down the first base line.
And we do have ticket takers on both sides today too. So if you come in on that side, there's parking over across the street at RDO, and then otherwise over at Gilbertson down third baseline in the park. Gilbertson has some parking over there, a ticket taker on that side as well. So we thank those volunteers for signing up to do the ticket taking and the concession work. Just a big shout out to them.
Yeah, the umpires have arrived. The coaches are exchanging lineup cards with the umpires and the coaches, and we're getting ready to play some baseball. For the Kindred Vikings, Carson Andel will be on the mound, throwing to his battery mate, Jeremiah Doctor. Jeremiah Doctor finished up his senior year.
Giving a thumbs up to the dugout.
Yeah, he's ready to go. He's ready to play some baseball, and so are the coaches, it looks like. Sam Stukel is the head coach for Renner. Renner's out of South Dakota again, near Sioux Falls. Renner post 307. Kindred Vikings post 117. Beautiful day. Wind is blowing in. Now it looks like straight away from center field. And we're getting ready for some baseball. Obviously, Renner will send up their 1, 2, and 3 hitters. Zach Sprinkle, Brady Jacobson, and Joe Neufeld. Zach Sprinkle, where's number 1? He's the second baseman.
Okay, the home umpire just cleaned off the home plate. It's all shiny and ready to go.
Let's play some ball. What a beautiful day for a ball game. Couple of baseball games today from Kindred.
Good breeze going on today.
And Carson Andel, number 16, kicks and fires his first pitch, misses, ball 1. 10:56 announces the official start time of the ball game. And here's a 1-0. Swinging a high fly ball into center field. Mason Almares has it measured. He camps under it, makes a catch, and there's one down.
I should say, too, if you haven't been out here, the grandstands, nice place to sit to watch a game. There's a lot of shade going on there, a backrest, so.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep, nice place to sit and watch. Good view.
Brady Jacobson steps to the plate. He's a shortstop. And the first pitch to him is ball one. Renner posts 307. And here's a 1-0 from Carson Andel. Fastball, check swing, fouled away. Right towards the Kindred first base dugout. Remember Friday night we had that big rain delay where rain and hail came into the ballpark area, and we had a rain delay. We had to scrap one game and send that one into Fargo. And we got a late start, but we got the game in. Swinging a foul back to the screen, 1-2 the count.
Yeah, there were some major puddles going on in the infield, but we had a lot of hands out here working on it, and learned a lot in those few hours putting it back together. That was pretty impressive, this crew. And all the kids took care of their own field. That's fun to see.
And fortunately, we had some good weather yesterday and today so far. Here's the 1-2. Misses away with 2 balls and 2 strikes. So we've had some good weather. The field looks in great shape. There's still some wet spots here and there, but nothing major. Everything's kind of been soaked up. The wind has helped and dried things up. Here's the 2-2. Off speed is upstairs. Full count. Joe Neufeld on deck for Renner. Early goings, 1 out, nobody on. Top of the first inning. Here's Carson Andel, kicks and fires. Fastball fouled over golf cart row and into the batting cage down the right field line. We'll do it again at 3-2. And Andel kicks and fires, misses badly. And Jacobson draws a 1-out walk. Joe Neufeld steps to the plate. He's the third baseman. Andrew Bloom, the designated hitter, is on deck. So 1 on, 1 out. Keep an eye on Jacobson. Looks like he's got some speed. And here's the pitch from Carson Andel. Off he goes. Throw down to second base. Is in plenty of time. And Jacobson has thrown out stealing. I didn't catch. I think it was Glasso that fielded that ball at second base. So a 2-4 put out for the second out of the inning. And Jacobson is gunned down stealing. Nice throw down to second base by Jeremiah Doctor. Everything was executed well for the Kindred Vikings, and there's 2 down. The first pitch was a ball. Second pitch here, called strike 1. So there's 2 down, nobody on. And Carson Andel looks on, kicks and fires. Called strike 2. Carson Andel got into some games, had an at-bat or 2, played some first base in the first few games. Here's an off-speed pitch, misses inside. Ah, it hit him. It hit the batter. So Neufeld hit by a pitch, and that'll bring up Andrew Bloom, the designated hitter. So now there's 1 on with 2 outs. Bloom trying to continue a 2-out rally, get things going for the Renner Ball Club. And here's the pitch in there for strike 1. Jack Packer holding on Mr. Neufeld over at first base. 0-1 the count. And here's a pitch. Off speed, misses upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, the field has been looking in good shape. It's so dry that they're actually hosing it down between games.
They did. Yep. I saw that.
Didn't think we would need that Friday night.
I saw that when we were coming in.
Here's the 1-1. That's fouled back to the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes. John Lent, the first baseman, is on deck. Wind's starting to swirl a little bit out there. Still blowing in from kind of center field, maybe right center field, blowing in. Here's a pitch, swing and a miss. Strike three, he struck him out. His first strikeout for Andel. In the top of the first inning, no runs. There were no hits, no errors, and one runner left on base. 4-post 307. On the Rusted Sand and Gravel line score, it's 0-0. Kindred coming to bat.
Kindred Express Lane is a friendly, locally owned convenience store open 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. and offers hot stuff pizza, smash hit subs, gas, diesel, and propane exchange. Kindred Express Lane is located at 220 First Avenue South across the street from the baseball and football field, just 3 inches away from Highway 15 in Kindred. While you're fueling up, be sure and grab a snack and a cold beverage for the road. Kindred Express Lane wishes the Kindred Post 117 Vikings the best of luck. Go Vikings!
And we're back. We're headed into the bottom of the second inning. American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports.
Bottom of first, right?
What did I say?
Second.
Bottom of second? Yeah.
It made me think I was not pushing the right buttons here.
yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself apparently. So, yeah, we're just getting going. Bottom of the first inning.
Okay.
Kindred Vikings will lead off with 1, 2, 3 hitters, obviously. Mason Almaris, Jack Wold, Nick Thompson. Should be noted that Kindred won in yesterday by a score of 16-0 over Post 400 over the Comets. Jack Wold was the starting pitcher. Didn't mention this enough. He, despite the outburst of runs scored, Jack Wold pitched a very good baseball game, a complete game shutout, went 5 innings, and he gets the win with, again, a complete game shutout over 5 innings. Post 307 had a couple of base runners. One was gunned down stealing, but no hits, and they come up with no runs. Jack Stukel will be on the mound. Mason Almaris takes a first pitch strike. Mason Almaris, the center fielder. Jack Stukel, right-handed pitcher, pitches out of the stretch, even with no runners on base. Sometimes it's easier for pitchers to do that, then you got to have one windup instead of a full windup and a stretch windup. He just chooses his pitch out of the stretch all the time. His second pitch to Almaris misses for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Looked like the pitch went behind Almaris. Here's a 1-1. Called strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bottom of the first. We're just getting going. And here's a 1-2. Misses. Down low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And here's the 2-2. Swinging a high pop fly. Shallow right field. It's going foul. And it's out of play. A lot of foul territory at the Kindred ballpark. So that didn't quite get completely out of play and into golf cart row. It fell about 10 feet short, but that's a very long run for the right fielder Jaspers out there. Here's the 2-2. 2-2 misses. Close pitch. Called ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Mason Almaris, good leadoff hitter. Works the count, takes a lot of pitches, tries to work his way on base. And the 3-2 misses up way upstairs, and Almaris draws a leadoff walk. Jack Wold steps to the plate. He's playing third base today. Almaris has some speed, so we'll watch him, see if he takes off and tries to sneak his way into scoring position. Here's Jack Wold. Had a couple of knocks yesterday in yesterday's ball games. Almaris takes off. The first pitch misses for a ball. Throw it on to second base is not in time as the ball skips away from the second baseman, Sprinkle, and Almaris has a stolen base. Pitch was a ball to Jack Wold, 1-0 count. Nick Thompson on deck. Runner in scoring position with nobody out. Josh Almaris coaching over at third. Nick Eggman coaching at first. And here's the 1-0. Fastball over, strike one. And once again, we have a lot of ball players by the name of Jack Stuckel on the mound. And here's a pitch to Jack Wold. Misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. And here's the 2-1. Fastball misses upstairs, up and in. 3 balls and 1 strike. Hitters count for Jack Wold. And here's a 3-1. Pitch misses outside. Everybody kind of froze and kind of glanced at the umpire like,
Wasn't sure what he was going to do there, what button to hit.
Everybody, the catcher, pitcher, batter, all just kind of looked at the umpires like, that a strike? No, it's not. I guess I'll go take first base. So the first 2 batters reach on walks. So runners at first and second with nobody out brings up Nick Thompson. Again, Nick Thompson had some booming hits yesterday, hit a couple balls over outfielders' heads. Leads the team with 4 home runs. First pitch misses 1 ball, no strikes. And here's the pitch. Down low in the dirt, 2 balls and no strikes.
Dan, which one?
Here's a 2-0 count from Stuckel, pitching out of the stretch, and the pitch over for strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Nick Thompson had a hitter's count with 2-0, but a good trained hitter will pick out a certain location, and if they can handle it, they'll give it a big hack. But he didn't like that one, so we took it for a strike. Here's the 2-1. That one's over for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And now here's a 2-2 from Stuckel. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. He got him on strikes, and there's 1 down. Big strikeout for Stuckel. You give up those first 2 walks, it's always good for a pitcher to come back and get that out. Brings up the cleanup hitter, Jack Packer. Playing at first base today. He's hit some balls very hard in this tournament. And the first pitch to him misses in the dirt. Nice block by the catcher, Joey Goodshaw. Ball 1. 18 pitches thus far for Jack Stuckel. And here's the 1-0. Misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Once again, a hitter's count. Jack Packer looking on. And the pitch. Swing and a pop fly over the first base dugout. Strike 1. And there's some action in the bullpen already for Renner. Can't catch a number down there, but there's a pitcher warming up down in the bullpen. Now here's a 2-1. Fastball swung on and missed, strike 2. Jeremiah Doctor, the catcher, awaits on deck. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runners in first and second, 1 out. And here's a pitch. Fastball misses inside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Stukel kind of pacing around out there, kind of wondering where that pitch missed, along with ball 4 that went to Jack Wold, who's now on first base. Here's a 3-2. Almaris goes, swinging a grounder out to shortstop. They'll go to second for 1. Throw on to first base. Not scooped out of the dugout, or out of the dirt, I should say, and Almaris is going to come around to score. So Packer reaches on a fielder's choice. Jack Wold is out at second base, 6-4 put out for the second out. Almaris would have reached third anyway, and he comes across a score. Is there an error, Quiz? No error on the play. Almaris just comes across on the play, so no error. Charge to the second baseman. Jeremiah Doctor up. He takes ball 1. So Jack Packer's on at first base. Mason Almaris scores to make it 1-0 in favor of Kindred. 2 down. Graham Galasso on deck. Should Jeremiah Doctor reach. Here's a high pop fly.
Over into the park.
Over into the park. Hope everybody's okay. Man, that went over the trees.
Yeah, it caught that wind. When it gets up there, it catches that wind.
Yeah. It's what, Gilbertson's Park over there?
Yep. Into the Gaga pit.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swinging a foul back to the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Stukel up to 26 pitches this inning. And here's a 1-2. Fastball ripped down the right field line, foul. We'll do it again at 1-2. So no hits for the Vikings. Mason Almaris walked. Jack Wold walked. Nick Thompson then struck out. Jack Packer then hit a ground ball up to shortstop. They got the lead runner, I should say, or the runner coming from first anyway, Jack Wold. Put him out. The throw down to first base was a little bit wild. Here's a high fly ball into center field. Center fielder's got it measured, and he makes a catch out in center field. That's Zach Barr, the center fielder for Renner. So, after 1 inning of play, Kindred Vikings do get 1 run on no hits. There were no errors. 1 runner left on base. At the end of 1 inning, Kindred Vikings lead it by 1-0 on the Rust-Bed Sand and Gravel line score.
There's no question that yield is at the core of everything we do at Stein. It's why we are here today, and it's what will continue to propel us and our growers into the future of agriculture. Stein Enlist E3 soybeans provide a significant dollar per acre yield benefit, plus access to the best weed control in the industry. That is yield plus results. Yield expected, yield delivered. Stein Enlist E3 soybeans have yield.
And we're back in Kindred. Renner coming to bat. They'll send the 5, 6, 7 hitters up. John Lent, Joey Goodshaw, and Alex Jaspers. Facing Carson Andel. On the Kindred Express scoreboard, it's 1-0 in favor of the Kindred Vikings. Post 117 over Renner, post 307. Working on getting the names of the umpires. We like to get the pronunciations correct.
Yeah, I got him here, yeah.
Okay.
So Tim Poehler.
Tim Poehler is behind the plate.
Scott Fredrickson.
Scott Fredrickson out on the bases. We've had Scott Fredrickson out here umping before in the past. Out in Kindred. Here's John Lent, the first baseman. Big, tall, right-handed hitter. And the pitch from Carson Andel swung on and missed, strike one. Like I said, 5, 6, and 7 hitters. Early goings to this one, top of the second inning. And the pitch from Andel. Off speed, over for strike two. Andel pitching out of the windup. Rocks and fires. Off speed, misses away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. On those 0-2 pitches, you never want to give something too groovy to hit. So they try to be careful, try to get the hitter to chase. Here's the 1-2, swinging a ground ball over to third base. Jack Wold has it. Tosses on over to first base. Jack Packer's there, and there's one away. 5-3 put out. Brings up Joey Goodshaw, the catcher. Joey Goodshaw wears number 10, right-handed hitter. Steps in with 1 out. And here's a pitch from Carson Andel. Looked like an off-speed pitch, misses upstairs and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Godshaw? Okay, I guess I was
Godshaw.
So it's Godshaw. He drives one to deep center field, and that's going to be over the head of Mason Almaris. And Godshaw, the catcher, will trot into second base with a stand-up double. First hit of the ball game for either team. So Joey Godshaw, the catcher, drives one over the center fielder's head. That'll bring up Alex Jaspers, the right fielder. So a 1-out double, and we'll have a courtesy runner. It looks like number 12, Rylan Arbogast, will be the courtesy runner for the catcher. Zach Barr is on deck for Renner. Andel kicks and fires, swing and a miss. Strike one to Alex Jaspers. Almaris was playing shallow as the wind is blowing in, but that was just a line drive laser beam over the head of Almaris. And here's the 0-1. Ball misses for a ball, and it gets away from Jeremiah Doctor. So Arbogast moves up. That'll be a pass ball on the catcher. So Arbogast moves up to third base on the 1 out. And here's a 1-1 from Andel. Swing and a miss, strike two. Andel trying to strand the runner over at third. Of course, Jaspers trying to bring in the tying run. Golden opportunity for Renner to tie this one up. Man on third with 1 out. And here's a 1-2 pitch from Andel. Off-speed pitch lined, caught by the third baseman, Jack Wold. So Jaspers hit it pretty hard. Jack Wold leaped up a little bit to make the catch, and there's 2 down. That'll bring up Zach Barr, the center fielder. Now, Renner will have to do some 2-out hitting to get that tying run across. Another right-handed hitter in Zach Barr steps to the plate. 2 out runners on third, or runner on third, I should say. First pitch to him is a strike. Patrick Barnett, the left fielder, is on deck. And here's the 0-1. Fastball away, 1 ball and 1 strike. Andel chooses to pitch out of the stretch with the runner on third base. And here's the 1-1. Off speed, misses upstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike. So some words being spoken to the umpire, and Mr. Fredrickson, the base umpire, is going over to talk to the coach. Not really sure what the issue is, to be honest with you.
Got some discussion going on there. A few little hand movements and some discussion going on. They're going to talk about it a little bit more. Oh, now Mr.
That's what
Polar coming out.
I can see that now. That's the what the head coach Sam Stukel is talking about. They're talking about whether or not Carson Andel is coming to a complete set out on the mound, and whether or not he's moving his hands. You have to come to a complete set and come to a complete stop, and you can't do anything to deceive the runner, otherwise it would be called a balk. Andel's back is to us, so it's hard to see what the hand movements the coach was talking about.
Well, must have got it sorted out, because here we go again.
And here's a pitch. It's a strike call. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Stukel must have been chirping at the umpires a little bit to get a balk call. Here's the 2-2. Off speed is grounded foul over to Stukel. Jack Wold will field it for him. Give it back to Andel. So that's what the discussion was about. Either umpire can call the balk call. Doesn't have to be one or the other. And here's a 2-2. Off speed, swung on and missed. The ball is dropped, and Jeremiah Doctor will take out the hitter. So Zach Barr strikes out for the 3rd out. No runs for Renner. There was 1 hit and no errors, and 1 runner left on base at the end of 1.5. On the Rusted Sand and Gravel line score, it's 1-0 in favor of Kindred.
MLGC story began in 1906 in the rural communities of Enderlin and Cooperstown. Today, MLGC is a 4th-generation family-owned company that can deliver ultra-high-speed broadband, TV, telephone, and advanced business services to customers on a 100% fiber optic network. Now available in several rural communities, including Kindred. In an era of exploding technology, MLGC's goal is to deliver future technologies that make rural North Dakota a vibrant place to live and do business. Visit them today, MLGC.com. MLGC, moving you at the speed of light.
Do you have a teen ready for driving lessons? Don't know what they need to do or when things need to be done? If busyness keeps you from driving with them, then Gotta Go Driving School is the place to call. Jeff Weber at Gotta Go Driving School has been teaching driving lessons to all age groups since 1991. Call Jeff at Gotta Go Driving, 238-0236. Jeff will tell you to start planning ahead now. Don't wait. Got a new driver? Then it's Gotta Go Driving School. Talk to Jeff or go online at gottagodrivingschool.com.
And we're back in Kindred. Jack Stukel taking the hill again in the bottom of the 2nd inning for Renner. He'll face the 6, 7, and 8 hitters, Graham Glasso, Jorgen Swenson, and Stanley Belansky. In the bottom of the 2nd inning, scores 1-0 in favor of Kindred. Bottom of the 2nd inning. Graham Glasso steps to the plate. He's the 2nd baseman in today's ballgame. And the pitch from Stukel is a fastball away, 1 ball and no strikes. Jorgen Swenson again waits on deck. And here's the 1-0. Misses down low, 2 balls and no strikes. And here's the 2-0. Misses down low, 3 balls and no strikes. And here's a 3-0. That's over for strike 1. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for Renner. Kindred, 1 run, no hits, no errors. And here's a pitch fouled over the first base dugout and press box. Brings the count to full.
All the kids in attendance today can chase after those foul balls and take them to the concession stand and get a little treat. Just another little perk of being at Baseball and Kindred today.
Oof. Fastball clocked Glasso. Nothing intentional there. Stuckel's trying to get the hitter out.
He's kind of laughing this way as he walks down to first, going to try to shake that one off a little bit.
So he's hit by a pitch.
Kind of the center of his back.
Yeah, that's not
rubbing it.
Yeah, I always tell you not to rub it. Whoever
Just
made up that rule has never been hit
You
with
can rub dirt on it, right?
Yeah.
Rub dirt on it.
You're not supposed to rub those hit by pitches, and it's a silly rule in my opinion.
A little superstitious.
Yeah. Here's the first pitch to Jorgen Swenson, misses for a ball. So the leadoff hitter is aboard, Graham Glasso. He's got some speed, so we'll keep an eye on him, see if he tries to swipe second base. Once he can catch his breath after getting clocked in the back.
He's okay now.
Oh, Jorgen Swenson is hit in the back as well. So 2 hit batsmen in a row. Puts runners at first and second base, and Stanley Belaski will be the hitter.
And Jorgen didn't rub it. He just kind of stretching it out.
And depending on where it hits you in the back, it's difficult to rub it anyway.
Yeah, it's there. Well, Eggman was helping him out, too. Checking on him at first base, making sure everybody's okay.
We'll see if Belaski attempts to move the runners up with a sacrifice bunt here. And we're going to get more action in the bullpen. Looks like Joey Wolfel. And an attempt at a bunt is fouled back to the screen, strike 1.
13, 2, and 12 are headed down to the bullpen.
Well, 2's got the catcher's gear on, so we assume he won't be warming up in the pen here.
You're going to help him out. Going to help him out.
Looks like Josh Wolfel, number 13, and number 12 is Ryland Arbogast.
He's just there for moral support.
Well, he's getting the balls in case they go past the catcher. And here's a pitch to Belaski taken for strike 2. Belaski did not show bunt on the 0-1 pitch. Now it's 0-2. Likely will not be showing bunt on this pitch either. And here's the 0-2. Called strike 3, and Belaski goes down on strikes. First out of the inning, Stuckel's second strikeout of the ballgame. Brings up Xander Rath, number 11, and the left fielder. So runner still on first and second after 2 hit batsmen to start off the bottom of the second inning. And Xander Rath likes to bunt, so he might be bunting for a hit here. And there he goes, lays it down. And nobody covering first base, and they'll sail up the right field line in a couple of runs. Well, 1 run will score. Another runner being waved around. Xander Rath on his way to third base. And, man, that's why you lay down a good, solid bunt. So they're going to call it a bunt single. I think you would have beat it out anyway. It was going to be a sacrifice bunt. But Xander Rath has got some incredible speed.
So we got an error there?
It's a hit and also an error.
Oh.
So it's a hit and then a throwing error on the pitcher, Stuckel. That will cause Glasso and Swenson to score on the 1 error. And Rath all the way to third base as he threw it up the right field line. And 2 runs scored. So no RBI for Rath.
And a runner on third now.
And a runner on third with 1 out.
All right.
And Mason Almaris, top of the order, is up. He takes ball 1.
I think we got all that. Hit all those buttons.
Yep. So that's an infield bunt single for Rath. And the next pitch to Almaris is down low, 2-0. So to round that out, just to clear it up, Xander Rath lays down a bunt. Stuckel looked to through to first base, but the first baseman was charging. Second baseman was a little late to get over there, so Stuckel stumbled a little bit and then threw it wildly up the line, but Xander Rath would have beat it out anyway, so therefore the infield bunt single. Then the error up the line. Oh, and it's booted by the second baseman, and the shortstop nearly throws it away. So Almaris hits the ground ball, and he'll reach on the error by the second baseman. So the second error of the inning. Xander Rath does score. We'll give Almaris a run batted in. because Rath would have scored anyway, and the second baseman booted the ball. Nice job by the shortstop, Brady Jacobson, fielding that ball and made a throw over to first base in an attempt to get that out. First baseman John Lent had to come off the bag and stop that ball. So Zach Spreckle, I should say, the second baseman, is charged with an error. And the run does score in Rath, and that makes it 4-0 in favor of the Kindred Vikings on your Kindred Express Lane scoreboard. Once again, thanks to all of our sponsors for bringing this baseball game to you. Sure is a lot of fun coming to do these games.
The whole broadcast today is powered by MLGC with fast fiber optic internet service.
So the coaches meeting out on the mound, but it looks like Stukel will stay in the ball game. By no means has Stukel pitched a poor baseball game here. A couple of errors. He's allowed some base runners, but he's only allowed the one infield bunt single thus far. Steps off, throws over to first base to keep Almaris honest. So 1 out, 3 runs in the second inning. Makes it a 4-0 ball game. Jack Wold steps to the plate. Another throw over to first base is not in time. Jack Wold walked back in the first inning in his only plate appearance. And here's the pitch. Almaris goes, throw down to second base, not in time, and Almaris has his second stolen base of the game. Pitch was a strike, 0-1 the count, as the home plate umpire will brush off home plate. It's Tim Poehler, the home plate umpire. Scott Fredrickson, again out on the bases.
Yeah, he's very diligent about keeping home plate all nice and neat.
1 out, runner on second now. 0-1 count to Jack Wold. Jack Stukel looks on, kicks and fires. Fastball swing and a miss by Jack Wold. Big, healthy cut. 0-2 the count. Nick Thompson's on deck. And here's the 0-2. Misses upstairs. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Looks like Stukel kind of wasted one upstairs on the 0-2 pitch. And here's a 1-2. Almaris goes. Here's a line drive into left field, and the left fielder goes back, and he makes the catch.
Nice catch.
What a play by the left fielder, Patrick Barnett. Good Lord. It looked like that one was destined to bounce off the fence on a couple of hops, but Barnett went back last second. He threw his glove up and snared it out of the air for a big out for Renner on a line drive to the left fielder for the second out of the inning. That brings up Nick Thompson. Nick Thompson is 0 for 1. He struck out back in the first. And he gets hit by a pitch. Man, the third batter that's been hit this inning. And that puts the runners at first and second. Almaris, by the way, on that line drive to left field was stealing, so he had to kind of find his bearings and figure out whether or not the left fielder is going to make the catch. He was already pretty much standing on third base. Then he had to scamper back to second because the left fielder made the catch. Here's a pitch to Jack Packer, strike 1. Jack Packer is 0 for 1. He reached on the fielder's choice back in the first inning. Runners in first and second with 2 outs. Trying to keep Almaris close at second base. And here's the pitch. It hit him. The 4th batter hit by a pitch in this inning.
And that loads up the bases.
Loads them up. And the Vikings will bat around the 9th man to come to the plate. And Jeremiah Doctor, the left-handed hitting catcher. Of course, he had his shin guards on. Wasn't sure if he's going to be able to come to the bat or not. Jack Packer gets hit with a pitch, and so he's got to go take his shin guards off. And the life of a catcher. takes his shin guards off, and he puts his kind of shin protector for foul balls on his right ankle. And here's a pitch, misses inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Graham Glasso is on deck. So 4 batters have been hit by pitches this inning. Glasso and Swenson got hit in the back. Packer and Thompson got hit in the arm area. Strike 1 to Jeremiah Doctor. Loads him up. 1-1, 2 outs. And here's the pitch. Fastball swinging a foul. Back to the backstop. 1 ball and 2 strikes. No runs, 1 hit, 2 errors for Renner. Kindred with 4 runs, 1 hit, and no errors. Bottom of the 2nd inning. What a day for a ball game. Still morning, by the way, too.
For another 20 minutes.
Here's the 1-2. Misses inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jeremiah Doctor avoided being the 5th batter hit this inning. Stepping out of the way. And the 2-2. Fastball hit in the air to left field. And Barnett's got it measured and makes a much easier catch than the last one. And he makes a catch on a fly out to left field. So for Kindred, in the bottom of the 2nd inning, they do come up with 3 runs. There was 1 hit and 2 errors and 3 runners left on base. On the Rustad Sand and Gravel line score, after 2 innings, it's 4-0 in favor of Kindred.
It's Mike with Magnitude Sports. Check out this channel right here, Dakota Fins and Feathers Outdoors. It's owned and operated by a family in Bismarck, North Dakota that I've known for over 2 decades. Kids have grown up into fine young men, and during their high school careers, some of them even played games that were broadcast on Magnitude Sports. If you like hunting, fishing, general outdoor life, sunrise, sunset, everything hunting and fishing related, dogs, hunting dogs, they're the best. Then check out the channel and show them some love. Go to Fins and Feathers Outdoors. Subscribe to him today.
Kindred Storage provides secure and affordable storage 24 hours a day. The units at Kindred Storage are new construction, isolated from water and snow, and are maintained year-round. The area is also well lit to ensure safe and easy access to your possessions day or night. Call 701-428-3121 for availability, unit pricing, and more information. Kindred Storage. You can find them online at kindredstorage.com. You can also find them on the north side of the airport in the city of Kindred.
And Patrick Barnett will be the 9 hitter for Renner. The 9 1 and 2 hitters for Renner will face Carson Andel here in the top of the 3rd inning. American Legion Baseball in the Shields Invitational Legion A tournament. I'm Mike Bernier along with Wendy Bernier.
Good afternoon.
Patrick Barnett made a couple of catches out in left field in the bottom of the 2nd inning. That first one, a line drive by Jack Wold, and Barnett went back, running almost straight back towards the fence, reached up and snared that ball out of the air for a great catch. So he leads off the top of the 3rd. The 1-0 pitch to him is fouled away, 1 ball and 1 strike. Vikings scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 2nd to make it a 4-0 ball game in an event-filled bottom of the 2nd inning. That was for sure. Only saw 1 hit, but the Kindred Vikings were able to put up 3 runs. Swinging a ground ball over to Jack Wold. He's got it measured, throws over to first base, high and up in the air and past Jack Packer. Jack Packer leaped for the ball but was unable to snare it. It'll be an error on Jack Wold, the 3rd baseman. So the leadoff man is aboard in Patrick Barnett. on the air. Second error, or first error of the game for the Vikings. Back to the top of the order with Zach Sprinkle, the second baseman. He's 0 for 1. He flew out to center field his first time up. Fastball's upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Carson Andel doing well with his pitch count, only at 36 pitches so far. And the next pitch is hit high in the air to center field. Mason Almaris has it measured. He puts it away, and there's 1 out. Second time that Sprinkle has flown out to Almaris in center field. That brings up Brady Jacobson. He walked and was gunned down stealing by Jeremiah Doctor and company back in the first. So 1 out, runner on first base. Brady Jacobson, the shortstop, steps to the plate. Ball 1 upstairs, 1 ball and no strikes. Renner post 307 out of South Dakota.
Brody.
Brody?
Yep.
Yep, that's what I have written down, but I keep saying Brady. Here's a high pop fly into foul territory. Jeremiah Doctor gives chase, and it's out. Might have hit the top of the press box here. 1 ball and 1 strike. Good effort by Jack Packer, Jeremiah Doctor, Carson Andel giving chase as well. So Brody Jacobson.
Yep.
Again, that's what I have written down. So why I didn't say that, I don't know.
No, I just got to say it.
Brody Jacobson. Has a 1-1 count on Brody. Brody looks on from the pitch from Carson Andel. Swinging a ground ball foul over towards the coach's box. Fielded this time. Throw back over to Andel, and we're ready to go. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Man, this morning the sun's shining in here and reflecting up. I got to put my sunglasses on.
It's a happy problem.
Yeah. Here's the 1-2. Fastball in the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes. No runs, 1 hit, 2 errors for Renner. Kindred with 4 runs, 1 hit, and 1 error. Here's a 2-2 from Carson Andel. Swinging a high fly ball into right field. And it's caught down the right field line by Xander Rath. Throw down to first base in time for the double play. They doubled him up. Xander Rath chased it down. I'm sorry, that's Belaski out in right field. Belaski chased it down and gunned down to first base to double up the runner on first. And so for Renner in the top of the 3rd inning. No runs, no hits, 1 error, nobody left on base. At the end of 2.5 on the Rusted Sand and Gravel line score, Kindred leads it by a score of 4-0.
MLGC's story began in 1906 in the rural communities of Enderlin and Cooperstown. Today, MLGC is a 4th-generation family-owned company that can deliver ultra-high-speed broadband, TV, telephone, and advanced business services to customers on a 100% fiber optic network. Now available in several rural communities, including Kindred. In an era of exploding technology, MLGC's goal is to deliver future technologies that make rural North Dakota a vibrant place to live and do business. Visit them today, MLGC.com. MLGC, moving you at the speed of light.
And welcome back to Kindred. And we'd also like to welcome the Renner fans from Post 307. If they're tuning in or also at the ballpark, hope you enjoy the Cold Stone Creamery ice cream and everything else that the baseball park has to offer.
Yeah, and a few people asked where Renner was. It is about 3 hours down to South Dakota, so they had a good trek up here. So hopefully they're enjoying the ballpark and all the goodies at the concessions. But we thank them for making the trip and hope they're enjoying their stay.
So to end the top of the third, Brody Jacobson hit a fly ball down the right field line. It was in foul territory. Belaski for the Vikings. I said it was Xander Rath, but Xander Rath was playing in left field. Belaski came over, made the catch, and fired one to Jack Packer at first base to double up the runner. Patrick Barnett to end that top of the third. Now Jack Stuckel will face the 6, 7, and 8 hitters for the Kindred Vikings. Graham Glasso's the first one. He hits a little bleeder over to first base. First baseman covers. Pitcher does a nice job of covering, and that's Stuckel, and it's a 3-1 putout. Excellent job by Renner. Fielding that baseball, does exactly as they're trained. John Lent goes over there and fields the ball and flips underhand to his pitcher, who's got to cover that base. So there's anybody else that's going to be there to cover. And Stuckel was able to cover in time and played that ball nicely, and there's one away. Jorgen Swenson steps to the plate. He was hit by a pitch his first time up and later came around to score. There was 4 hit batters in the second inning. And here's the pitch from Stuckel. Fastball upstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike. And here's the 1-1. Upstairs again, 2 balls and 1 strike. Stanley Belaski waits on deck. Jack Stuckel on the mound. Again, pitches out of the stretch, whether there's runners on base or not. And here's the 2-1, swinging a pop fly foul, strike 2. Several times Renner has had pitchers warming up in the bullpen, but Stuckel still out there giving it a battle. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball called, strike 3, and Stuckel records his 3rd strikeout of the ball game. And there's 2 outs. So Jorgen Swenson goes down on strikes, brings up Stanley Belaski, the right fielder. Stanley Belaski steps to the plate. He's 0 for 1 with that strikeout. And the pitch is over for strike 1. You got an update on the next game?
I do. Just let me hit a button here. Get caught up on things. Yeah, so some members of the next teams are walking in. So I just wondered, Barnesville is playing Bismarck Reps at 1 o'clock. So they're just rolling in here, coming in the gates and getting to get ready for their game.
Excellent.
1 o'clock, Barnesville versus Bismarck Reps.
Great facility here in Kindred, so I hope they enjoy their stay. We hope Renner and the Renner fans are enjoying their stay as well. Here's a swing and a high fly ball into center field. Barr comes on. Actually, it's a right fielder, Jaspers, who comes on to make the catch. That wind is wreaking havoc on some of these fly balls. So for the Kindred Vikings, they go down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 3rd inning. No runners left on base. On your Rusted Sand and Gravel line score, after 3 innings complete, it's 4-0 in favor of Kindred.
Since 1897, families in the Red River Valley have depended on Bolger Funeral Home during life's toughest challenge. With each generation, we're committed to continuing that tradition of care and meeting the changing needs of families, from expanding our facilities to offering new technologies. And through it all, one thing remains the same: caring and affordable service. Always. Bolger Funeral Home. At this time, count on us.
Cheyenne Septic Service is your go-to for residential and commercial pumping of your septic and holding tank. Plus, they provide pre-sale real estate pumping and inspection. Don't buy a new home or sell your current home without it. Cheyenne Septic Service is always on call 24/7 for any emergency services that may be required at your home or business. Call 701-317-2756. Cheyenne Septic Service, a local business in Leonard, North Dakota.
And we're back in Kindred on your Express Lane scoreboard. Kindred Vikings lead it by a score of 4-0. American Legion Baseball, Shields Invitational Legion A Tournament. From Kindred Varsity Field, I'm Mike Bernier along with Wendy Bernier. Carson Andel will face the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for post 307.
The Royals.
Out of Renner, South Dakota. First pitch misses. Second pitch is inside, and it hit him. Another hit batsman in this ball game. Stukel for post 307 hit 4 batters back in the second inning. Carson Andel, I believe that's the second batter he's hit in this ball game. Maybe it's the first. That'll bring up Andrew Bloom, the designated hitter. He went down on strikes his first time up. Swing and a miss, strike one. You got an RV leaving the ballpark to the south of the field.
Giving a little love to the players. Was his horn beeping?
And here's the pitch. Breaking ball upstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike. Yes, Joe Neufeld was the other player that got hit. So Joe Neufeld has batted twice and has gotten hit twice. He's on at first base, so the second batter hit by Andel. And here's a 1-1. Misses outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Leadoff hitter aboard for Renner. Trying to get something going in the top of the 4th inning. 2-1 count to the designated hitter, Andrew Bloom. Swing and a miss. Man, Andrew Bloom's got his left foot on the front of the chalk line, nearly out of the batter's box. He stands way up on the plate. Now he backs up a little bit, about a foot. The last pitch, his foot was way up there. Now here's the 2-2 from Carson Andel. Off speed, swing and a miss. Strike 3, he struck him out. And there's 1 down. 3 strikeouts now for Carson Andel. That brings up John Lent, the first baseman. He grounded out to the third baseman his first time up. 1 down, runner on first base. Post 307 has a lineup full of right-handed hitters. And here's the pitch. Runner goes. Throw down to second base is up high and not in time. And Neufeld steals second base. Pitch was a ball to John Lent. He's got a count of 1-0. Joey Godshaw, the catcher, waits on deck. Carson Andel pitching out of the stretch. Kicks and fires. Fastball hit high in the air into the infield. Looks like Glasso, the second baseman, calls for it and makes a catch, and there's 2 down.
The runner ran all the way down to first base with his bat in his hand.
And there's 2 down. That brings up the catcher, Joey Godshaw. He had a double his first time up. Was eventually stranded at third base back in the second inning. So 2 outs, runner on second base. Some solid 2-out hitting needed by Renner to get a run on the board. Here's the first pitch, is in the dirt, ball 1. Blocked nicely by the catcher, Jeremiah Doctor. Alex Jaspers, the right fielder, awaits on deck. And here's the 1-0. Pitch is in the dirt. Runner's going down to third. Throw down to third base is not even close. He's thrown out. He tried to advance on the ball in the dirt and tried to get a good jump, but he's thrown out. So no runs for Renner in the top of the fourth inning. There were no hits, no errors, no runners left on base as Neufeld is thrown out. On your Rusted Sand and Gravel line score, Kindred has 4, Renner with 0, and Kindred coming to battle.
For your remodeling and service needs on residential or commercial water heaters, sewers, drain cleaning, floor heating, and more, contact DJ's Plumbing and Heating in Castleton. The team at DJ's Plumbing and Heating has over 43 years of experience and is an officially licensed master plumber. DJ's Plumbing and Heating. Give them a call today at 701-347-5253 or visit them in person at 1002 Front Street in Castleton.
And welcome back to Kindred. That'll be it for Jack Stuckel, the starting pitcher for Renner. Jack Stuckel threw 3 innings, gave up just the 1 hit, 4 runs. I count only 2 of them as being earned, and he walked 1 and struck out 3. He did hit 4 batters. However, after he hit his 4th batter, Jack Packer, he set the next 4 hitters down in order, and he completed the 3rd inning, 1-2-3. And he'll be relieved by one Josh Wolfel, spelled W-O-E-F-U-L, Josh Wolfel.
Works for me until somebody corrects us.
Yeah.
Right?
We did get the pronunciations, and
yeah.
I checked on it just to make sure that that was a correct pronunciation a couple of different times. So for Kindred, Wolfel will face the 9, 1, and 2 hitters. Xander Rath will step to the plate. He's 1 for 1. He had the only Kindred hit with that bunt single back in the 2nd inning. Stuckel, the pitcher, did throw that ball up the line, up the right field line, allowing 2 runs to score on that error. Back in the 2nd. Kindred leads it by a score of 4-0. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Josh Wolfel on to pitch. So no runs, 1 hit, 2 errors, and 4 runs, 1 hit, 1 error on the Kindred Express Lane scoreboard.
And the entire broadcast today is powered by MLGC with fast fiber optic internet service.
Xander Rath steps to the plate, 1 for 1 with a run scored. Josh Wolfel coming on in relief for the starter, Jack Stuckel. Mason Almaris on deck, followed by Jack Wold. First pitch to Xander Rath is a ball. And never count out Xander Rath. Trying to bunt his way on. Likes to bunt. The 1-0 pitch is over for strike 1. 4-0 lead for Kindred. Here's the 1-1 to Xander Rath. It's upstairs, 2 balls and 1 strike. They appealed down to first base, but wasn't really even a check swing. Xander Rath just kind of avoided the pitch. And here's a 2-1 upstairs, 3 balls and 1 strike. Again, Josh Almaris coaching at third base. He's a head coach. Nick Eggman coaching at first. Dean Wixo's the assistant. 3-1 pitch misses, and Xander Rath is on base. for the second time today. And again, that tremendous speed helped him out in the first inning by running that bunt single down. And we'll watch Xander Rath as he is likely to attempt to get into scoring position for the top of the order in Mason Almaris. Almaris walked back in the first, stole a base, and scored a run. Reached on an error back in the second, stole a base, and was stranded at third. And Xander Rath does go. The pitch bounces off the catcher's glove, and Xander Rath is down to second base with a stolen base. He was going on the pitch, so no pass ball or wild pitch. A stolen base for Xander Rath. Pitch was a ball. Mason Almaris batting with a 1-0 count. And the pitch, it hit him. It hit him, so that's the third batter.
It's the back of that shoulder blade.
Or the fifth batter, I should say, that pitchers for Renner have hit today. So Almaris is on, runners at first and second with Jack Wold coming to the plate. He walked back in the first and hit a laser beam out to left field that the left fielder Patrick Barnett made an incredible catch on. So no outs, runners at first and second. And here's a pitch down low in the dirt. Nice block by the catcher, Mr. Joey Godshaw. 1-0 the count. Nick Thompson is on deck. And here's the 1-0. Upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. And here's the 2-0. Fastball in the dirt. Another nice stop by Godshaw. 3 balls and no strikes. Josh Wolfel on in relief. The right-hander kicks and fires his 3-0 pitch over for strike 1. Now we got a fourth cart down Golf Cart Row down the right field line. Here's a 3-1 pitch, misses in the dirt, and the bases are loaded with nobody out. Rath goes down to third base. Almaris up to second base. Wold draws the walk for the second time today. Brings up Nick Thompson. He's 0 for 1. He struck out back in the first and was hit by a pitch in the second.
Yeah, we got a pretty good crowd out here watching that game, and some kids down third base line camping out on their blanket, having a picnic.
Here's an incredibly high fly ball out into right field. Jaspers comes on, and he can't make the catch, and it lands in fair territory. And that'll score at least 1 run, and Almaris will be held up at third. Now he's coming home. Here's a play at the plate. Will not be in time. Almaris scores on the play. I have to assume there's going to be an error charged to the right fielder. So Xander Rath scores on the error, as does Josh Almaris. He scores the second run of the ball game. Jack Wold stopped at second, and Nick Thompson reaches first base on the error by the right fielder. Third error in the game for Renner. Puts runners at first and second with nobody out, and Jack Packer, the first baseman, steps to the plate and takes ball 1. Jack Packer is 0 for 1. He reached on a fielder's choice in the first and was hit by a pitch in the second inning.
We got runners on first and second. Is that what we got?
Yep.
Okay.
Here's a ground ball into the hole on the left side. Almaris is going to hold up Jack Wold at third base. And to watch the throw, and it goes back to the backstop. Now Jack Wold's going to score. And the runners move up. Again, I think we'll see another error on that play. So Jack Wold stopped at third base. Jack Packer gets a base hit. It was a clean single to left field. However, Jack Wold will score on the error. We'll call it on the left fielder Barnett, even though maybe the ball should have been blocked, but we'll give the error to the outfielder for getting past him. And Nick Thompson will move up to third. Jack Packer up to second base. Runners at second and third with 4 errors now on Renner. And here's a wild pitch back to the backstop, but not far enough for Nick Thompson to advance. So no official wild pitch, just a ball to the batter, Jeremiah Doctor. So Jack Packer collects his second hit of the game for the Kindred Vikings. And here's the next pitch. It misses for ball 2. Josh Wolfel on the mound for Renner. Two-0 count to the catcher, Jeremiah Doctor. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of flyouts. And this one goes to the backstop. Nick Thompson's going to attempt to score, and the throw to the plate is not in time, and it gets by the pitcher, but backed up nicely by the infielders for Renner. So Nick Thompson scores on the wild pitch. On your Kindred Express Lane scoreboard, Kindred Vikings now lead it by a score of 8-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Jeremiah Doctor at the plate with a 3-0 count. And here's a 3-0. Fastball upstairs, he walked him. So Doctor draws the walk. Graham Glasso steps to the plate. And the coach, Sam Stukel, comes out to talk to his pitcher. There will be a courtesy runner for the catcher, Jeremiah Doctor. Looks like Jack McDonald will be the courtesy runner, as there's a meeting out on the mound. And it looks like we're going to have a pitching change. So let's take a break here for the pitching change. You're listening and watching American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports.
MLGC's story began in 1906 in the rural communities of Enderlin and Cooperstown. Today, MLGC is a fourth-generation family-owned company that can deliver ultra-high-speed broadband, TV, telephone, and advanced business services to customers on a 100% fiber optic network. Now available in several rural communities, including Kindred. In an era of exploding technology, MLGC's goal is to deliver future technologies that make rural North Dakota a vibrant place to live and do business. Visit them today, MLGC.com. MLGC, moving you at the speed of light.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial sales and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success. Jamie R. Swenson of Park Company Realtors has been your local Kindred area realtor for over 10 years. She'll help you find the home you're really looking for. Growing up in Gary, Minnesota, and graduating from NDSU, Jamie has made her home in Kindred, proudly cheering on the home team in blue. Buying or selling? Make that call to Jamie R. Swenson at 701-799-1779 or visit connectwithjamie.com to browse new listings and listen to the Realtor Moms podcast. Jamie R. Swenson of Park Company Realtors supports the Kindred players of today and hometown rookies of tomorrow.
If you're looking for a bank or insurance agency that offers big bank products and small town service, then Kindred State Bank and Insurance Agency is the way to go. Live in or near the Kindred area? Stop in and chat with a friendly banker or insurance agent about all of the convenient services and features they offer. Kindred State Bank and Insurance Agency are your neighbors who are here to help you grow and develop. Kindred State Bank and Insurance Agency. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Online at kindredstatebank.com.
And welcome back to Kindred. Kindred Vikings lead it by a score of 8-0 over Renner post 307. New pitcher on the mound will be the left fielder Patrick Barnett. He comes in to pitch, and we'll just have a straight switch as Josh Wolfel, the pitcher, will move out to left field. And we're ready to play some baseball once again. There's no outs. Bases are loaded. No, they're not loaded.
No.
Runners on first and second.
Yeah, nobody's on second anymore. I was like, wait, where's the
And Nick Thompson scored on that wild pitch. So
I got this little wall in front of me, and I was like dodging back and forth trying to see where's that runner.
So Jack Packer is actually over on third base. He reached on that wild pitch. Jack McDonald's at first base. He's a courtesy runner for the catcher. And the batter now is Graham Glasso. He's 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch in the second inning, came around and scored, and he grounded out in the third. So nobody out runners at first and third. And here's a pitch. McDonald does take off. The pitch is fouled away, however, strike one. So McDonald will come back to first base. Good breeze blowing in from right field.
It does feel good today, yep.
And the 1-1 pitch misses for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Patrick Barnett, right-handed pitcher, on to face his first hitter. And the 2-1, McDonald goes, throw down to second base. It's not in time. And McDonald has a stolen base. Runners now at second and third. 3-1 count. The pitch was a ball to Graham Glasso. Jorgen Swenson awaits on deck. And the pitch is lifted high in the air down the right field line. That's going to drift foul into the batting cage down there, down that direction, and over towards the football field. So wind kind of push that one away. 3-2 count now to Glasso. And here's a pitch. Fastball swing and a foul tip at the plate. The catcher just missed that. Joey Godshaw thought he should have had that one. The count remains full. Barnett looks on, throwing out of the stretch. And the pitch upstairs. He walked him.
Now your bases are loaded.
Now the bases are loaded. Jorgen Swenson steps to the plate. He's 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch back in the second inning, came around to score, and struck out looking in the third inning. 8th man to come to the plate for the Vikings. In the bottom of the 4th, still nobody out with the bases loaded. 4 runs already in this inning, and the pitch misses for ball 1. Infield playing at relatively normal depth. First baseman Lent is in a little bit. Here's a line drive towards the gap in right center, but the center fielder's got it. He goes over and makes the catch and tosses one down the line, but the runners will not be able to advance as Jorgen Swenson sends one into center field to Zach Barr, who makes a catch, and a run does score on the sacrifice fly to center field for the first out of the inning, and a run batted in for Jorgen Swenson as Jack Packer comes across to score. Runners stay at first and second. McDonald down at second base still, and Graham Glasso stays at first. Sacrifice fly for Jorgen Swenson makes it 9-0 in favor of Kindred. Oh, the center fielder, when he threw that one,
I hurt his arm, yeah, or
Zach
elbow.
Barr is coming out of the ball game.
He's just holding his right elbow and flexing his fingers.
Holding his, like you said, is holding his elbow, forearm area. So hopefully he's okay. Jackson Bjorkman comes in to play center field now for Zach Barr. Zach Bjorkman, number 2. Goes in to replace Zach Barr, the center fielder. There is one out, runners at first and second. And here's a pitch from Barnett, fouled back to the screen, strike 1. The batter now, Stanley Belaski. He's 0 for 2. He struck out looking back in the second, flew out to right field in the third. Kindred Vikings bat around again. This is the 9th man to come to the plate here in the 4th inning. Vikings also batted around in the second inning. And the 0-1 misses upstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike. No runs, 1 hit, 4 errors, 4 Renner. Kindred with 9 runs, 2 hits, and 1 error. And here's a 1-1. Fastball over for strike 2, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And here's a 1-2 from Barnett. Misses outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Working on getting some ice over to Zach Barr over in the dugout.
Yep.
From the concession stand area. Here's a 2-2, swung on and missed, strike 3. And Belaski goes down on strikes. First strikeout for Barnett. Second out of the inning. Runner still on first and second, and Xander Rath will be the 10th man to hit here in the 4th inning. Xander Rath has singled and walked and stole a base and scored 2 runs today. And here's the pitch. Fastball outside, ball 1. Oh, gets away from Godshaw momentarily, but the runners do not attempt to advance.
Yeah, here comes the ice. Big ice over to the Royals dugout for that gentleman's arm.
And here's the 1-0.
Hopefully everything's all right with him.
The ball kind of sailed on him up the line, so that kind of explains it. If something popped in his arm or something like that, hopefully he's okay. So ice handed over to the coaching staff, and they'll get it to Zach Barr here in the dugout. 1-1 the count to Xander Rath. And the pitch, swinging a line drive into right center field. Shallow, that'll fall in for a base hit. McDonald will come around from second base and score a run, and it's 10-0 in favor of Kindred on the RBI single for Xander Rath. His second hit of the ball game, Kindred's 3rd hit. Xander Rath has 2 of the 3 hits. Glasso stops at second base. 2-out single, RBI single for Xander Rath. Brings us to the top of the order in Mason Almaris. Here's a pitch, swinging a high fly ball into center field. Back goes the new center fielder, Bjorkman, and he goes back and makes a catch, and that's a 3rd out. Kindred Vikings come up with 6 runs on 2 hits. There were a couple of errors that inning, and 1 runner left on base. 2 runners left on base, I should say.
2, yeah. I got
2 runners left on base. At the end of 4 on your Rustad Sand and Gravel line score, the Kindred Vikings lead it by a score of 10-0. You're listening and watching American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports.
Do you have a teen ready for driving lessons? Don't know what they need to do or when things need to be done? If busyness keeps you from driving with them, then Gotta Go Driving School is the place to call. Jeff Weber at Gotta Go Driving School has been teaching driving lessons to all age groups since 1991. Call Jeff at Gotta Go Driving, 238-0236. Jeff will tell you to start planning ahead now. Don't wait. Got a new driver? Then it's Gotta Go Driving School. Talk to Jeff or go online at gottagodrivingschool.com.
Yeah, I got one. I'm good. And we are back in Kindred for the Shields Invitational Legion A baseball tournament. Kindred Vikings taking on the Renner Post 307, the Royals.
The Royals, yeah.
And there is an 8-run rule in effect after 5 innings. Kindred Vikings do lead it by a score of 10-0. So if the Royals here don't come up with 3 runs, the ball game will be over. Here's a line drive. Good start for Post 307 as a catcher. Joey Godshaw rips a base hit into left field. Brings up Alex Jaspers, the right fielder. Jaspers, his first time up, lined out to the 3rd baseman, Jack Wold. And again, we'll have that courtesy runner as Arbogast, I believe. Rylan Arbogast goes out to be the courtesy runner for the catcher. And here's a pitch from Carson Endel, swing and a miss. Strike one by Alex Jaspers.
That was a hit, right? Just previously? I didn't get that one. Yep.
Base hit, second hit for Renner.
I was chasing my papers with a breeze and looked down for a minute.
Pinch runner goes, and Arbogast is safe at second base with a stolen base. Pitch was a strike, I believe. The 0-2 the count to Alex Jaspers.
That I did get.
Jackson Bjorkman is on deck. And here's the 0-2. Swung on and fouled back to the screens. Count will remain. No balls and 2 strikes. Nothing score. Top of the 5th inning. Carson Andel still on the mound. And the next pitch is blocked after the pitch went into the dirt. Blocked nicely by Jeremiah Doctor. Count goes to 1-2. Carson Andel working on a complete game shutout here. If he could shut the door in the top of the 5th here. However, runner in scoring position. The 1-2 count, nobody out. Here's a 1-2. Fastball swung and fouled away again. We'll do it again at 1-2. Alex Jaspers, right fielder today. And the pitch, off speed, misses away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Carson Andel, toes are rubber, pitching out of the stretch. And here's a 2-2. Off-speed pitch, misses upstairs. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch, swing and a foul once again. We'll do it again at 3-2. Nice at-bat here by Alex Jaspers, battling up there. Carson Andel's pitch count looks pretty good. He's at 63 pitches, top of the 5th inning. And we'll do it again with a 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. I think that's Andel's 4th strikeout of the ball game. Brings up Jackson Bjorkman. He came on to play center field after Zach Barr hurt himself making a throw into the plate. So Bjorkman, no at-bats as of yet, steps to the plate. And the pitch is grounded out past the mound. It's going to be trouble. It's going to be an infield single for Bjorkman. Just kind of a no man's land there. It got past Carson Andel. Swenson tried to charge it, but the speedy Bjorkman was able to easily beat that one out. No throw even made. So runners at 1st and 3rd now with an infield base hit. 3rd hit of the game for Renner, and that'll bring up the pitcher, Patrick Barnett. He reached on an error by the 3rd baseman back in the 3rd inning in his only plate appearance, so he's 0 for 1. Runners at 1st and 3rd with 1 out. Carson Andel on the mound, and the pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss, strike 1. See some of the Barnesville players sitting in the stands getting ready for the next ball game. See one Major Ness sitting in the ballpark. Out of Barnesville. Here's the 0-1, runner goes. Throw down to second base is not in time, and it skips into center field, and that's going to score a run. So Arbocast trots home to score.
Comes in on the air.
So Arbogast was the courtesy runner. He came across a score. I believe that's going to be an error on Jorgen Swenson, the shortstop. So E6 we'll call it. 0-1 the count. So Renner's on the board for the first time today. A 10-1 lead for Kindred. There goes the shutout for Carson Andel. So Bjorkman does get credit for a stolen base. However, the run will score on the E6. And it's a 1-2 count to Barnett. Throw it on to second base is not in time. And here's the 1-2 pitch from Carson Andel. Breaking ball, misses inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. One run, 3 hits, 4 errors for Renner. Kindred with 10 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors. Here's a 2-2, swinging a ground ball over on the left side. Jorgen Swenson has it. Throws over to first base in time for the out. Throw back down to third base is not in time as Bjorkman has kind of an awkward slide back into third. But he's safe. So a 6-3 put out, and there's 2 away.
Your leadoff batter, number 1, second baseman, Zach Sprinkle.
Zach Sprinkle steps to the plate. He's a second baseman. He's flown out to center field in both at-bats today. So 2 outs. Renner down to their last out. They need to put up 3 runs this inning to keep this game alive, as there is an 8-run rule after 5 innings for this tournament. Here's a pitch. It's a ball, and it gets by Jeremiah Doctor. And Bjorkman comes across to score the second run of the game for Renner. So a wild pitch makes it 10-2 in favor of Kindred, but Renner put up a couple of runs here in the top of the 5th inning on Carson Andel. And here's the 1-0. Swinging a foul ball back to the screen, strike 1. Now that I think about it, that was Zach Barr that was the hitter. So Bjorkman never did actually hit for him. Zach Barr wears number 28, and he was the runner out there. So I apologize for that. It was actually Zach Barr out there that hit for himself and re-entered the ball game. Came across the score. Here's a swing and a miss by Zach Sprinkle. 2-2 the count. Renner down to their last strike. Here's Carson Andel's pitch, fastball, grounded over towards third. Jack Wold has it, fires across the diamond in time as Jack Packer prevents it from going into the dirt and scoops it out. And the Kindred Vikings with a win today by a score of 10-2 over Renner Post 307. So, in the ball game, should we take a break?
Let's do that, yep.
Let's take a quick break and we'll come back.
Coming out on this Sunday, a safe trip home.
MLGC story began in 1906 in the rural communities of Enderlin and Cooperstown. Today, MLGC is a 4th-generation family-owned company that can deliver ultra-high-speed broadband, TV, telephone, and advanced business services to customers on a 100% fiber optic network. Now available in several rural communities, including Kindred. In an era of exploding technology, MLGC's goal is to deliver future technologies that make rural North Dakota a vibrant place to live and do business. Visit them today, MLGC.com. MLGC, moving you at the speed of light.
And we're back in Kindred, and for the post-game wrap, I'm Mike Bernier along with Wendy Bernier.
Good afternoon.
Good ball game for the Kindred Vikings as they win it 10-2, and just like to thank Renner and their fans for coming up from South Dakota. Good 3-hour drive to come up and play in this Shields Invitational Tournament.
Yeah, and next up, Barnesville versus Bismarck Reps. They will try to start their first pitch at about 1 o'clock, but the crew's going to go do their get the field ready for this next game. So if you want to have some lunch and some ice cream and enjoy a good afternoon of baseball, come on out and catch the next game here at 1 o'clock, Barnesville versus Bismarck Reps.
We got more baseball to play, like Wendy said, and we're getting ready. And to wrap up this one, Kindred Vikings win it by a score of 10-2 over Renner. And
that game will be on right here on Magnitude as well, too. I forgot to tell everybody that.
Carson Andel goes the complete game 5 innings, gives up 2 runs on 3 hits. There were a couple of errors for Kindred, but Carson Andel picks up the W on the mound for the Vikings, and that'll wrap things up. 10-2 score from Kindred, and we'll end our broadcast. Thanks for listening.
The preceding broadcast was an exclusive presentation of the Magnitude Sports Network. Subscribe, click the bell, and visit magnitudesn.com for a schedule of our upcoming broadcasts.